Hello friends, my name's Jennifer. Welcome back into my home and into my kitchen here at All Things Kitchen. So I got to thinking today, I was talking with my husband about just things that are happening in the world and whatnot, and I decided that I am going to can some water. I've mentioned before, I do live in Florida and we are now in hurricane season, and we've never had a need to, our water's never been shut off to where we need water, but I just want to be prepared. I have the resources this year to do it, and so I'm going to do it. And I thought I'd bring you along. Canning water does sterilize the water, so we would have it not only for drinking, but if we had some sort of wound due to debris flying around or stepping on something in the yard after a hurricane or even a tropical storm comes through. That's kind of how our trees get pruned around here in the summer, is when we get the big wind storms. We have only one time had a hurricane bad enough since we've lived in this house where we should have left. We did not, but we should have left, and it got pretty scary. Have watched a tree fall down in my backyard after a tropical storm came through, and there have been some close calls with some things. So this year I just thought I'd be a little bit more prepared, think ahead, instead of waiting for the circumstance to happen to where I need something and don't have it. So I am going to water bath some water. I've got some water here. This is my pressure canner, but I'm just going to use it as a water bath canner. So I have that water heating up, and I have some water in this pot heating up as well as in my kettle, because you do need to boil the water for 5 to 10 minutes. I'll look at the instructions again. This is the first time I'm doing this, but I'll make sure that you have the proper instructions. We only need to water bath it for 10 minutes at my altitude. And if you want to go do this and you do live in a higher altitude, please look it up, what is appropriate for you. I'm going to be doing quarts, and right now I am just going to wash up my jars. My quart jars have been sitting back in my pantry and just have some dust, so I'm going to make sure that they're extra clean and get them ready to put the boiling water in there and can them up. So I'm going to go ahead and wash these jars, and I'll be right back with you. So I have my water boiling in the pot that's going to go in the jar. This needs to boil for 5 minutes before we put it in the jar. And then once we jar it up, put the lid and rim on, then we'll put it in the canner for 10 minutes at a rolling boil. So that's the process. You do have to pre-boil your water to get out any impurities and any bacteria that may be in there, in order for the 10-minute timer to be enough to kill everything that it needs to kill and store safely. So from what I have read and seen, this water will be good for about a year. I've got 1 more minute on my timer. And it could be good longer, but probably, you know, if I just do this every hurricane season, at the start of I'm getting a little bit of a late start, and it's the end of June right now. You probably won't see this till July, but I think it will be important for our family to have this safe drinking water, safe for wound care, and all the necessities that we may need it for. So it has been boiling now for 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and turn the oven off of that. Excuse me, the stove top. I have warm water sitting here in my jars. Let me show you. So these jars are filled with warm water to keep my jars warm, and I've got this one jar ready to pour water into. So let's see. There's nothing fancy about this. It's just water, but it is hot boiling water, so you want to be careful that you don't hurt yourself. And I'm just going to do whatever will fit into my canner. My goal is to have 3 cases of this. We're going to fill this up to about a 1/2 inch headspace. Now, if I was using anything but water, I would make sure that I wipe my rim so that I know that there's nothing on there that's going to prohibit the seal, but it is just water. It's very hot. I'm gonna just put that fingertip tight and put this into my pot over here. I did have this water at a boil, but I had to turn it down because it was ready before I was. So now I have these jars filled with water. I've got a pot right here. Just going to pour that into that pot so that I'm not wasting any water. Rinse, lather, and repeat. Simple as that. Nothing fancy, but being prepared in your home is very important for all sorts of reasons, whether it's for financial purposes, buying things that are on sale and buying them in bulk so that you get a better price long term, or something like this, making sure I'm prepared in case our water does go out and I have water for the people living in my home. I'll bring you back when these are coming out of the canner. And it's as simple as that. So the timer just went off and I turned the burner off so that it can calm down a little bit. It's a little boiling. It's boiling. So I'm going to let this calm down for a little bit, let it sit in the water for about 5 minutes, and then I will take them out. And in the meantime, I am boiling. It's not to a boil yet. I am bringing up more water to a boil in my pot so that I can fill more jars. And like I said, rinse, lather, repeat. And all this humidity, like Florida's not humid enough. It's dripping off my appliances, so it's warm. I think I'll turn on the fan. I have a ceiling fan in my kitchen, which during the summertime when you're cooking over the stove and with the oven on, comes in very handy. It also comes in very handy when you burn something and there's a lot of smoke and your smoke alarm goes off. Ask me how I know that. But with that in mind, I do turn the fan off when I'm taking jars out of the canner because I don't want that extreme temperature to break a jar. And it very well could with the ceiling fan on. They're popping already. They're sealing already. That's it for today. All we're doing is canning water, and I just wanted to bring you along and let you know to maybe start thinking about preparing for the future, for things that you might need, for emergencies, and to just be prepared. Start stocking your pantry, getting some water ready, whether you're in a hurricane zone or not. I'm sure in other parts of the country, you have problems with your power going out as well, and possibly your water going out. So take care of you, take care of your family, and be prepared. I appreciate you coming along with me today. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great week. And I'll see you next time. Take care.